If you're thinking about building a new home in Hendricks County in 2026, this video is exactly where you need to start. Because here's the deal, not all new construction neighborhoods are the same. Some are perfect for growing families, some are better for downsizers, some have basements, and some don't. Some have 3-car garage options, some are more about walkability and lifestyle, and some are 55+ communities that are bringing something totally different to Avon and Brownsburg. So today, I'm breaking down 5 new construction neighborhoods in Hendricks County that you need to know about in 2026. We're gonna talk about Eastston by Lennar and Avon, Whispering Pines South by Pulte and Avon, Centennial of Brownsburg by Davis Homes and Epcon, Aspen Trace by Pulte and Avon, Hob Station in Plainfield with Taylor Morrison and Pulte. I'll give you price ranges, who each neighborhood is best for, what I like about them, what I don't want you to miss out on, and a few things you really need to know before walking into a model home. I'm Tony Janko, better known as Mr. Hendricks County, and if you're thinking about buying, building, or selling anywhere in Hendricks County, start at www.mrhendrickscounty.com. So let's get into it. First up is Eastston by Lennar in Avon. Now, quick clarification here. A lot of people know the larger development is Eastston Gray, but Lennar's 55+ section is marketed as Eastston. And this is one of the most interesting new construction communities here in Hendricks County because it's not just another subdivision with houses lined up and down the street. This is a 55+ active adult community with a real lifestyle component. Price-wise, Eastston has been showing homes from the upper 200s into the upper 400s depending upon the collection, floor plan, options, and available inventory. So compared to some of the larger family-focused new construction neighborhoods in Avon, Eastston gives downsizers a pretty wide range of options. The big draw here is single-level living. These homes are ranch-style designs, which is exactly what a lot of 55+ buyers are looking for. You don't want to be forced up and down stairs every time you need something. You want the primary suite, laundry, kitchen, great room, and main living space all on one level. They have multiple collections and several floor plans ranging from smaller, efficient ranch layouts to larger plans with more space for guests and an office or a hobby space. You'll see some options in the 2-bedroom range, some with studies, some with 3 bedrooms, and some with an additional upper level bonus space depending upon the plan. So who's Eastston best for? This is a great fit for empty nesters, retirees, people downsizing out of larger 2-story homes, or someone who wants that lock and leave lifestyle without going into a condo. And my favorite thing about the Eastston is the amenity package. You've got the Nottingham Clubhouse. It's a fitness area, a pool, gathering space, a community, a huge kitchen, walking trails, bocce, tennis, pickleball, and not just one little court tucked in the back. This community is clearly being built around being active and social. The other thing I like is the low maintenance aspect. A lot of people tell me, Tony, I'm not ready for assisted living and I'm not ready for a condo, but I am tired of mowing, mulching, shoveling, and maintaining a giant yard. This is exactly the type of buyer Eastston is trying to serve. Now here's what I'd watch closely. If garage space matters to you, pay attention early. Not every plan is going to give you the same garage flexibility, and 3-car options are very limited. Also, because it's a 55+ community, you'll need to understand the age restrictions and occupancy rules before you fall in love with a certain floor plan. My advice, don't just walk in and pick a pretty model. Let's look at the lot, the direction the home faces, the garage options, the HOA, and the long-term resale value. Eastston's one of the best options in Hendricks County right now for the buyer who wants new, easy, active, and low maintenance. Next up is Whispering Pines South by Pulte and Avon. This one's very different than Eastston. Whispering Pines South is more of a move-up buyer neighborhood. Bigger homes, stronger curb appeal, larger floor plans, and one of the biggest things buyers still ask me for in Hendricks County, basements. And not just basements, Pulte is advertising full 9-foot tall ceiling basements in this community, which is a big deal. When buyers ask me, Tony, where can I build a newer home in Avon with a basement and a little more upscale feel? This is one of the communities that comes to mind. Price-wise, this is not an entry-level new construction neighborhood. You're generally starting in the upper 400s, and depending on the plan, structural options, finished basement, lot premiums, and design selections, you can easily get in the 500s or the 600s. That's important to know before you emotionally get attached to the model. The floor plans here are larger 2-story homes. Pulte has plans like the Ivy, the Continental, and the Waverly, all giving you a lot of square footage, open gathering spaces, flex rooms, multiple bedroom options, and 2 to 3 car garage configurations depending on the plan. Now let's talk about ranch homes. If you want a true ranch style home in Whispering Pines South, this is not your place. This neighborhood is much more focused on larger 2-story homes. So for one level living, I'd steer you towards Eastston, Centennial of Brownsburg, or other select plans and communities. But for a family that wants space, Whispering Pines South makes a lot of sense. My favorite thing here is the curb appeal. The side load garages can change the entire look of a home from the street. Instead of pulling up and seeing a giant garage door as the main feature, you get more of a custom high-end elevation. It gives the neighborhood a nicer streetscape. The other favorite thing? Some of the lots. If you get one of the home sites backing up to the trees or a more private setting, that can make a huge difference. A good lot in new construction is one of those things that people underestimate when they're standing inside a model home looking at countertops. Countertops can be changed later. Your lot cannot. Who's Whispering Pines South best for? It's best for move-up buyers, families who want Avon schools, buyers who need a basement, and people who want a newer home with a little more presence from the street. The thing I'd watch carefully is the total price after options. Builders advertise a base price, but once you add the lot, the elevation, the structural options, a finished basement, design center choices, and upgrades, that final number can look very different. That's one of the reasons you want me involved as your realtor before you walk in. Number 3 takes us all the way over to Brownsburg, the Centennial of Brownsburg by Davis Homes and Epcon. This is another 55+ community, but it has a little bit different feel than Easton. Easton is a larger Lennar active adult community in Avon with a big amenity package. Centennial of Brownsburg is more boutique, more intimate, and built around Epcon's low maintenance ranch home concept. Price-wise, Centennial's average from the mid 300s, with homes ranging from the smaller ranch layouts to larger plans approaching nearly 3,000 square feet depending on the design and options. You'll see both single family homes and duplex style options, which can be a nice fit depending on how much space and privacy you want. The floor plans are ranch focused, and that's a big selling point. If you're trying to get out of a 2-story home, but don't want to give up nice finishes, open living space, a real primary suite, and a good entertaining layout, Centennial is worth a serious look. My favorite thing about the Epcon style homes is the private courtyard concept. A lot of their floor plans are designed around a more private outdoor living space, and I love that because many downsizers tell me the same thing. I don't need a huge yard, but I still want somewhere I can sit outside, drink coffee, grill out, look at flowers, or let the dog out. That courtyard style gives you the outdoor space without the burden of a large yard. Centennial also includes the low maintenance lifestyle component. Lawn care is a big part of the appeal, and the community is designed for people who want less upkeep and more freedom. Our amenities are expected to include community gathering areas and lifestyle features like clubhouse style space, pool or fitness related amenities, walking trails, green space, and ponds. Who's Centennial best for? I think it's a great fit for Brownsburg downsizers, empty nesters, retirees, and people who want one level living but still want something that feels upscale. It's also a good fit for someone who wants new construction but does not want the big family subdivision feel. Now, one thing to note, garage options are typically more limited here than in larger move-up family neighborhoods. You'll most likely be looking at 2-car garages. So if a 3-car garage is non-negotiable, we need to talk before you get too far down the road. But if your wish list is low maintenance, ranch living, Brownsburg location, newer design, and a more private outdoor living space, Centennial Brownsburg is one of the most important communities to know in 2026. Number 4 is Aspen Trace by Pulte and Avon. If Easton and Centennial are more downsizer focused, Aspen Trace is more family focused. This is the neighborhood I'd be talking about with someone who says, Tony, we need more space, we need bedrooms, we need a loft. We also need storage. We need a place for kids, work, pets, and all the stuff that comes with everyday life. Price-wise, Aspen Trace is currently showing from the upper 300,000s to the low 400s to start, with homes getting higher depending on the floor plan, options, and home site. The square footage range is strong, generally from the mid 2000s up into the 3,000 square foot plus range. The floor plans are mostly 2-story designs. You'll see popular Pulte plans like the Wall Street, Prospect, Dakota, Summit, and Greenfield. And these are all built around open concept living, flex spaces, lofts, planning centers, and larger bedroom layouts. And my favorite thing about Aspen Trace is the usable space. Some homes look big on paper, but the layout does not always live well. Pulte usually does a good job with the practical areas, the drop zone, the planning center, the loft, the flex room, the pantry, and the bedroom sizes. This matters for real families. A flex room can become an office. A loft can become a playroom. A planning center can become the home workstation. A 3-car garage can be the difference between parking outside and actually having room for bikes, tools, sports gear, and that extra beer fridge. And yes, 3-car options are one of the things I'll be looking at here, depending on the plan and home site. Now basements. Aspen Trace is not a basement community. So if a basement's a must-have, I would compare this against Whispering Pines South or some other Avon area communities where basements are available. But here's the trade-off. Aspen Trace gives you newer homes, strong square footage, Avon schools, good access to Ronald Reagan and Rockville Road, the Avon Town Park, and everyday shopping and dining. So who's Aspen Trace best for? Growing families, move-up buyers, people who need functional square feet, and buyers who want new construction in Avon without necessarily jumping into the highest price tier. The thing I'd watch here though is lot selection and total cost after upgrades. Because when a builder has attractive base pricing, it's easy to say, that sounds great. But the real number is the base price plus the home side elevation, plus the structural options, plus the design center, plus appliances, landscaping, and everything else. That's why I always tell people, don't just compare the base prices, compare the real finished house you would actually want to own. Aspen Trace is a really good fit if you want space, flexibility, Avon location, and a newer family neighborhood feel. Thinking about relocating to the Indianapolis area? Well, I've got just a thing for you. My team and I have actually taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide, which is meant to save you hours of research, and I've linked it below. From top employers to the best hospitals and a boatload of other things that you need to know before making the move. The best part is this guide is 100% free. That's right, you heard me, 100% free. Just click the link in the description below or the top pinned comments. Hope that helps. And number 5 might be the most unique community on this list, Hob Station here in Plainfield. This one's different because it's not just a subdivision. It's more of a live, work, play concept. You've got homes, trails, retail, restaurants, green space, sidewalks, and a much more walkable layout than what we normally see in Hendricks County new construction. There are 2 main builders here to know. Taylor Morrison, which is building the Hidden Lakes at Hob Station, and Pulte Homes, they're building the Landings at Hob Station. Taylor Morrison homes have generally been starting in the mid 300s, and Pulte homes have generally been starting in the upper 300s, with prices, of course, moving up depending on plan, home site, and options. The Taylor Morrison side gives you several floor plan options, generally in that 1,700 to 2,600 square foot range, with some really interesting layouts. One of the things that I like best is on select floor plans, they offer a downstairs primary suite, which can be hard to find in newer construction at certain price points. That could be a big deal for buyers who don't necessarily need a 55 plus community, but still like the idea of a main level owner suite. Taylor Morrison's section has more of that rear load garage, Ellie style, town center feel in its community. That gives the front of the home a cleaner look and creates a more walkable streetscape. Now, Pulte Landings at Hob Station is more traditional in some ways, with larger 2-story floor plans, front load garages, open concept layouts, flex rooms, lofts, and family-friendly space. Pulte is showing plans like the 5th Avenue, the Boardwalk, and the Park Place, generally from around 2,400 to 2,700 square feet. These are good options for buyers who like the Hob Station lifestyle, but still want a more traditional family home layout. Now, basements are not the selling point here. There are no basements. So if basements are important, Hob Station is not where you want to be. And 3-car garage options, also not the main story. This community is really more about location and lifestyle. My favorite thing about Hob Station is the walkability. This is the one where I can say, picture someone saying, I want to walk to dinner, I want to walk the dog, I want trails, I want retail nearby, I want something that feels a little more active than a normal subdivision. You've got access to miles of trails in the Plainfield trail system. You've got access to planned public spaces, playgrounds, pickleball, bocce, dog park areas, more walking trails, open green spaces, and a lot of retail and dining options right here. And this everyday convenience is hard to beat. You're close to Kroger, Walmart, Target, Starbucks, to shops at Perry Crossings, and all the Plainfield amenities, including the airport and major roads. One thing that surprises people is even though it's in Plainfield, this is served by the Avon schools. So who is Hob Station best for? I think it's a great fit for young professionals, buyers who want walkability, downsizers who are not ready for a 55 plus neighborhood, and families who want newer construction with more going on around them. It's also a good fit for people who like the idea of Plainfield convenience, but still want access to the Avon schools. Hob Station is not for the buyer who wants a big private lot, a side load 3-car garage, or a basement. But it's great for the buyer who wants lifestyle, walkability, trails, restaurants, energy, and convenience. It may be one of the most exciting new construction options in Hendricks County. So let's do a quick recap. If you want 55 plus low maintenance active adult living in Avon with a strong amenity package, Eastston by Lennar should be high on your list. If you want a larger Avon home site with a basement, side load garage, and more of an upscale feel, Whispering Pines South by Pulte is the one to watch. If you want Brownsburg, ranch living, low maintenance design with that Epcon private courtyard concept, Centennial of Brownsburg is your girl. If you're a growing family looking for flexible space, large lots, 3-car garage possibilities, and Avon schools, then Aspen Trace by Pulte makes a lot of sense. And if you want walkability, trails, retail, restaurants, and something that feels a little different than a standard subdivision, Hob Station in Plainfield is probably the most unique community on this list. But here's the most important thing I can tell you. Do not walk into a model home unrepresented. The sales rep in a model home can be great. Many of them are very helpful, but they work for the builder. Their job is to sell the builder's homes, the builder's lots, the builder's inventory, and on the builder's contract. My job is different. My job is to represent you. And in most cases, it doesn't cost you anything extra to have me involved because the builder pays a realtor commission. But here's the catch. You usually need to have me involved from the very first visit or registration. So before you walk into a model home, call me first. I'll help you compare communities, compare builders, look at lot premiums, understand incentives, watch out for resale issues, talk you through inspection strategies, and make sure you're not just buying the prettiest model home, but you're buying the right home for your life and your long-term investment. I'll help hundreds of buyers all across Hendricks County, Avon, Plainfield, Brownsburg, Pittsboro, and beyond. And I know these neighborhoods, these roads, these schools, these builders, and what really matters when it's time to resell. So if you're thinking about building new in Hendricks County in 2026, start with me. Go to www.mrhendrickscounty.com. I'm Tony Janko, Mr. Hendricks County, and I'd love to help you find the right new construction neighborhood before you ever step foot into that model home. If this video helped you, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Tell me which of the 5 communities you'd want to tour first. And remember, before you build in Hendricks County, call me Mr. Hendricks County. Thanks.